name is Tzvi Lebetkin, new Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. So the big hoo-ha, the big news right now in the Doctor Who world, other than John Barrowman and Noel Clarke being totally cancelled, right? Totally cancelled. Is Time Fracture. Time Fracture is the immersive Doctor Who adventure theatrical experience, and everyone's going, what the hell is it? What's going on with it? What is it? Can somebody please explain it to me? So that's what I'm going to do. That's what this video is about. I'm going to try and explain what Time Fracture is. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? And it's a lot of money. It's £50 a head, which I don't know is about $70, $80. It's a lot of money. So yeah, firstly, my quick review, which I haven't seen it, so it's not really a review. Preview. My quick preview will be like, if you live in or around London and you can see it, and you're a Doctor Who fan, go and see it, because they put a ton of money into this, and it's not going to survive. There's no way going to make its money back, unfortunately, because it does look pretty awesome if you're a Doctor Who fan. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, if you love Doctor Who, any form of Doctor Who, I think, go check it out. Honestly, go check it out. I really think it's worth £50. Why do I think that? Well, we'll go through the video, and we will explain it in general. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? That would be freaking awesome. That would be fan-dabby, double dozy. Thank you very much for hitting the like button. Can you hit the share button? That's also even better. Listen, baby, I like to be liked, but I like to be shared around, baby. I am a bit of a slut, bit of a subscriber slut. So I would say, a subscriber whore. So in that vein, hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, could you do that? That'd be lovely. If you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube are up for a bit of shenanigans. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. That's kind of an important part. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and also, listen, you want to be super nice. YouTube has demonetized my channel. Go check out my Indiegogo, which I'm basically in the position now to wrap up this campaign. So here it is. It's as I said, the link is in the video notes. Two freaking awesome graphic novels. You got biblical Bible stories, so aces, creatures, thrashers, and rogues. It's kind of like, Sandman, Swamp Thing, that kind of like type of comic book. It's long. It's 220 pages long. I think it's a story of like, weight and worth is how I would describe it. It's, again, very, very biblically accurate, not preachy at all. I don't care how you live your life, baby. But I think it's good that we all live differently. I think it's probably a better thing for all concerned. I wrote and drew this. I wrote this, and Dominic Raccio did the art, and wow, the art's fantastic. This is the Imperium, a love letter to telefans in the 1960s. It's 105 pages long. Freaking awesome book. Basically, imagine James Bond, Doctor Who, Emma Pill, Monkey the Spacesuit, and the Black Slab from 2001, all together in one, a super group together, and you get a bunch of extras. You can buy the extras on their own. I would rather you buy the books, because I want you to read my books. That's why I started my channel, because I would like you to read my books. So the first one, which is a new thing that we're adding in, is this fantastic pinup. It's a fantastic pinup. I'm calling it Noble Savages. Again, right now, everybody gets this as a pinup. Normal like 8.5, 11, A4 pinup. If we hit $8,000, I'm gonna make it into an A2 poster for you guys, because I love you guys, and you guys are worth the extra. And I think we're gonna hit $8,000. We're at seven, just under 7.5 right now. I'm trying to get myself booked up for a bunch of shows to end up this campaign. So because this is ready to mail out. I got the print files ready to go. Everything's ready to go now. Apart from there's one thing I'll show you in a second. But again, check out this poster. It's called the lovely Leela and Raquel Welch from 10,000. Was it a million years BC? 10 million. I can't remember the name of them. I can't remember the name of the character or the movie. I remember Raquel Welch in it though. We have the time machine and a bit of canine action all there together. Freaking awesome. As I said, artwork by Dominic Raccio. You also get for the Mel Gaze series. Now I'm going to continue this into my next campaign. These are all cars based on things that titillated me as a young child, and they will, my next campaign, I'm going to be doing a bunch more. So on this one, of course, we have the James Bondy one, keeping the British end up. We have the Space 99 one, Party Like It's 1999. We have the 2000 AD one, Don't Even Think It's Citizen, very Judge Dreddy. We have No Hanky Panky in the TARDIS. In my personal fan fiction, there might have been a little bit of fan fiction. We have Deanna Troi here, I'm Sensing Strong Emotions Captain, and this one, which I just think is fantastic. I think this one is worth the campaign in of itself, right? Because it's fantastic, it's fabulous. It's so good. It's caused the program that I'm pulling up these files on to pause for a second. But here it is, The Force is Female. I think it's good that we reclaim that phrase for ourselves. Now here, $8,000, as I said. Also, everyone's going to get this poster. It's Bohemian in Time and Space, also by Dominic Racho. Right now it's an add-on. It's like $3. It's not much to get it add-on. We got a bunch more posters. The Eyes Have It. Lovely poster, this one. Great Balls of Fire. And this one, which is nearly finished. I worked out, finally, sometimes you just got to let a poster sit with you for a while, a piece of artwork sit with you for a while, because this one has not been working for me, right? Has not been working for me, and I haven't been thrilled with it. I've worked out what it is. So I go see this here, but this, his hairline right here, I just think it's too big. I think if I pull back that hairline a little bit, it's going to make it a gazillion times better, and so it was an aging Tom Baker and Liz Sladen, forever young in the TARDIS, having adventures this day. Stephen Ambrose suggested I send this to Tom Baker to see if he'll sign it. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that just be absolutely wonderful? Yeah, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. So yeah, we might well do it. So yeah, that's my next mission. Just fixing the hairline on this to make it work a little bit better. So there you go check it out. Thank you very much. So something else I'm thinking you should go check out is this Time Fracture, Doctor Who Time Fracture. So what the hell is Time Fracture, right? What is it? It's okay, so this is not the first immersive Doctor Who adventure, but it's, I think, the biggest and the most in-depth one. I flew to London when they did when they first opened the Doctor Who experience, when it was in Olympia, right, before they moved it to Cardiff, right? And I loved it. I absolutely adored it. It was about, what was it, 20 minutes long? Right, it was a 20-minute long adventure. You were in like this room, and you got like this interaction, and then you saw the crack, Amy's crack, Amy's crack open up, and it opens up, and you walk through it, right? And then you're in another room, and the TARDIS is there, and it looks like it's like there's something behind it, and you walk into the TARDIS, and you're actually in the TARDIS, and it was glorious. It was freaking glorious. And then after you go through the little stories, again, 10, 15 minutes. Like you walk through like Dalek spaceships and weeping angels. I can't remember. It was really good. It was really, really, really enjoyable, especially if you're a Doctor Who fan. Then there was an awesome Doctor Who exhibition on the other side of it, like when you got out of it. So it's along that line, but this is much bigger, much bigger. This is like a 2-hour show. I think it's got a cast of over 40, and like lots and lots of doctors. I think every doctor is represented in this, and they put just a ridiculous ton of money into this, right? So I'm recommending, if you live in England, especially in London, it's worth the $50, right? It's worth the £50. Because you're never going to see this again. No one's again. Where did this come from? This is what I think happened. Around the 50th anniversary, they were looking for other properties to adapt. They've done one, The Great Gatsby, which is apparently very, very successful. Not my cup of tea. So I think probably what happened is this has been in gestation for a long time. And they started like when it was at the height of its popularity, when everybody coming to London knew about Doctor Who, right? Matt Smith years, when Doctor Who was really doing great. I would say that's probably because Doctor Who was on Netflix in the US, right? And I think taking it off Netflix really, really, really hurt it. Hurt it internationally. I think Capaldi was on Netflix as well. His whole time probably would have done much better, and it would have been a much more international pull. But anyway, so we had that going on. So they they started that, and then we've had the current era, the Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall era, which has been a disaster for Doctor Who, an absolute disaster for Doctor Who. It's nowhere near what it used to be, right? In terms of like its popular appeal, it just isn't, right? It shrunk massively. So, but I think when they started work on this, they had no idea, absolutely no idea that Doctor Who would implode as completely as it has done, right? It was supposed to come out last year because of the pandemic, so I think it's probably been in gestation for about 4 years, but that's my guess, and I think that makes a lot of sense. If it was going to come out last year, I think it makes a lot of sense because they just put a ton of money into it. You know what this is like? I would recommend is they did a stadium show that did one tour and it was over and it was wonderful. It was free. It was Doctor Who March of the Monsters or something. You can find it on YouTube. I didn't see it because I live in Israel, right? I didn't live in London. I tried to work out flying in to go see it because it looked fantastic, and it was really clever. It was like a live theatre show. It had Nigel Planner from The Young Ones starring in it. He was playing the son of was it Morgan? If you ever saw the classics, the poetry story Carnival Monsters, it was a sequel to that. They had Nigel Planner playing his son, who was called Morganson, and he had a miniscope, which the Doctor gets caught in, and then Nick Briggs is in it, essentially doing the voice of the Daleks and playing Churchill as well, right? Because it was a good 2-hour show, but then they had Matt Smith in it in such a clever way that he was caught in this like box, right, this force field. So what it was basically 4 back projections in a box, which made him look like he was in there. Just so clever, right? And again, they put a ton of money into it. It looked fantastic. You're never gonna see it again. That's never, ever gonna see it again because it didn't make enough money, right? That's the bottom line. It didn't make enough money. There's no way this is gonna make enough money, which is a real shame. Again, a few years ago, it probably would have. It probably would have made a ton of money. But what I gather is you're gonna go in. And we're gonna look at the sets and stuff in a second. You're gonna go in, and there's a large there's a large cast there, and also there's a ton of pre-recorded stuff. They have every Doctor represented. In fact, let's go over to this Radio Times article, which talks about it over here. So so they get who's in it. Time Fracture will feature 8 Doctors as new cameos unveiled. So it's Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Joe Martin, and Jodie Whittaker. So I guess add into that Paul McGann, right? That would make sense. So 8 Doctors? We're only up to 7, right? Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. I'm going to say Paul McGann, right? Joe Martin. I'm missing one. Okay, let's go through the Doctors. So, I mean, are they counting David Bradley? Again, it's gonna have Michael, Patrick Troughton's son, Michael Troughton's doing the 2nd Doctor, Tim Treadlaw's doing the 3rd Doctor. So I have other people doing the voices of Matt Smith. I guess it's gonna be Jake Dubman doing Matt Smith and David Tennant, and somebody else is doing Capaldi. It's probably the guy who's doing the War Doctors also doing Capaldi, because Jake Dubman's Capaldi is. I mean, listen, I think it's a decent performance, but doesn't really sound like him, whereas his Matt Smith and David Tennant sound exactly like him, right? So Tom Baker, Peter Davis, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Joe Martin, and I've all done pre-recorded inserts. Are these going to be audio or video? I have no idea. So Michael Troughton's going to be the 2nd Doctor. Tim Treadlaw will do the 3rd, and then the roles of the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctors are going to be by other people. They're also going to have John Carshaw doing the Brigadier. Awesome, just absolutely awesome. His Brigadier is fantastic, and Gemma Redgrave as Kate Lethbridge-Stewart. Nick Briggs will be doing the Daleks, and the Cybermen. So, and here's some images of the sets that you go in. So, but the idea is UNIT has been monitoring this time fracture forever, for like since the 40s, which leads you into all different different worlds of Doctor Who. And I think there's about like 7 different environments you go into, which again sounds fantastic. It sounds fantastic, and it all sounds very, very authentically Doctor Who. As Dave Bradley's recorded an insert, so I think the cast members are going to interact with the recorded insert, which will be. I remember, what movie was I going to see? This was going back a long time. Probably Alien Resurrection, right? Probably Alien Resurrection. That's how long ago, which I quite like Alien Resurrection. I was in the cinema, and this was in my first time I stayed in Israel. I was in Israel from was it 91 to 96. Then I lived in the States from 96 to 2005. Now I'm back in Israel, right? But that's for the first time I was in Israel, and they had this ad where somebody was talking. It was on the screen, so somebody was talking, and then the woman working there walks up and starts talking to the screen, and the screen starts talking back, and it's very cool. It's very cool. I mean, if you've been to like Disney or Universal Studios, you have to ride the movies. You actually feel like you're in the movies. That's what this feels like. And again, it would be great if it was like you'd think it was done in the 50th anniversary when Doctor Who was a big deal. Not so much anymore. So this looks like the Doctor's wife planet. I think there's the console you can see over there, and there's lots of environments. So let's look over here. We're going to go to the latest issue of SFX magazine. We're going to read over their story about it. Where is it? Over here. Time fracture. There you go. A new immersive theater experience aims to put you directly into the Doctor Universe, but what is time fracture all about? Okay, that's right. So this looks like something that you walk into. As you go in. Go check out the videos they made. They put a ton of money into this, right? A ton of money into it. Live action Doctor Who is nothing new. It dates back to 1965's The Curse of the Daleks, a stage play which ran in the London Windsor Theatre. By the way, if you want to hear that, Big Finish, they've also done they recorded all they do audio books essentially in the book, audio adventures. So they did a audio version of Curse of the Daleks. The other Doctor Who play with Trevor Martin in it, and then the Doctor Who Ultimate Adventure from the 80s. So people are saying the price of this is £50, which is very expensive. I remember in the 80s when I went going to see the Doctor Who Ultimate Adventure was a fortune. It was like tickets are about £40 back in the 80s. So I think in today's money it's probably more expensive. So I think this seems like a reasonable right? It's expensive. It's very expensive, right? But I think for what you get, it seems how much you pay to go to a West End play and actually be inside it. Seems reasonable to me. Again, I wish they got the franchise to do James Bond instead. Then they would have made some money and people would have seen it. This is going to, however this can run, how long this can run for without making its money back is how long it's going to run for. Okay, it's not going longer than that. It's not going because there's just not enough interest. And I get the feeling this is actually the new big thing. I also hear there's another company that's doing a 2000 AD one. You're in Mega City One. That's the company that does Crystal Maze Live or something like that. Okay, so Wyndham Theatre even places itself in certain aspects of the series has become part of modern day fandom with interactive elements as central part of Carter's Doctor Who experience. RIP. You know what they really need to do with the Doctor Who experience? Put it out as, because all the inserts are already filmed. Put it out as a virtual reality experience. Now, virtual reality died a death. I don't know why I didn't take it. It is freaking awesome. Basically, you get this thing called Google Cardboard. You take your phone, you put it into a cardboard box, and you wear it on your head like goggles, and then you can move your head around, and it moves with your head. Right? It's just most incredible technology you've ever seen. And so, as human beings, what do we do with the most incredible technology you've ever seen? We make pornography out of it. That's the only application that VR has ever used to make porn. I want to go into Doctor Who. Wouldn't that be incredible? Like be in a Dave Bradley First Doctor event. Like that would be incredible. And I think I would pay for that. But they've already I never saw the Capaldi Doctor Who experience. Why not just put that out as a VR experience, right? The footage is already there, right? They already have it. Charge a couple of bucks for it. I think maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Also, why did they do a Sherlock Holmes one? Like I can think of so many things where they would make their money back, because I'm just thinking of international tourists. Most people don't know about Doctor Who anymore, right? It's over. Honestly, the Jodie Whittaker Chibnall era has pretty much killed it, I think, in terms of like a massive popular entertainment. Again, this just strikes of a corporation making a decision and taking a long time to do it, and then the world's moved on. The world moved on before it was ready to go. Fine. But this latest offering blends both worlds. Ironically, they're talking about, what was it, Maze Theories, escape rooms. Escape rooms always kind of bored me. Really, I saw somebody doing virtual escape rooms. Again, maybe somebody wants to work that out as a Doctor Who. That could make some money. I think Maze Theory, did Maze Theory do that? I'm not sure. I should definitely look into that. Okay, but the latest offering blends both worlds. Ironically enough, given the universe warping premise of Doctor Who, time fracture to bring something new to the exploding world of immersive theatre. Yeah, like immersive theatre it's the next big thing. It's 100% the next big thing. It's certainly the most ambitious project, taking place in 2 connected buildings in central London. Man, the money they must have put into this. They must have put a ton into this. Oh my god. Like, 1 building in central London, it's pretty expensive. 2, oh my gosh. The production by Immersive Everywhere, the team behind UK's longest running immersive show, The Great Gatsby, has created up to a universe of 17 worlds, taking up to 2,700 square meters of space. Freaking awesome! I mean, like, all this made around Doctor Who, and again, I think it's around all of Doctor Who. What they've done is, from what I've read, is they try to put a bit of every Doctor Who in it. So there is Jodie Whittaker and Joe Martin in it, but there's also Tom Baker. I think, again, from a corporate point of view, they said, well, let's put everybody's Doctor Who in. Like, everybody's in, and everybody gets a little taste of something they like. And I think I can live with that, Like, I'm not prepared to begrudge Jodie Whittaker fans their experience. But again, if you live in London, I would find the £50, right? So 17 worlds, taking up to 2,700 square meters of space. The work of over 40 people and almost 6,000 applications. The cast of 42 performers will form a part of the 86 people needed to run each performance. Blimey! In short, it's bigger on the inside. Writer Dan Dixon explains, it's a love letter to Doctor Who. It's not just the current iteration of the show, but the entire heritage of the last 6 years. Yeah, listen, I do get the feeling they wanted to say, no, this is old Doctor Who. No, not just the Jodie Whittaker one that nobody likes, right? This is everything. But what is time fracture? Well, it's exactly the sound Dixon explained. It's a rift that opened in space time. I should really get in contact with them, see if anybody wants to come on my channel to do an interview. A rift that opened in space time dimension, which is causing anomalies in reality. Dimensions are knocking together. Things are popping up in and out of existence and getting worse. It's being monitored by UNIT, and the endpoint of these anomalies being the eradication of the entirety of reality. Bread and butter stuff for Doctor Who, for the Doctor. Due to the narrative of the plot, the Doctor is not available, but the Doctor has very astutely done. He sent a list of names to UNIT, to their black site they've been running to monitor time fracture for years. So these names are essential to saving the universe, and not just and those names just happen to be the audience members of the show that are arriving for the show. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That means you. So you're really part of the thing, meaning that this is the closest many fans will be having to appear in a Doctor Who story. Again, if I lived in London, I would be there. They arrive at UNIT's black site, where the unit has constructed a portal to portal stabilization gateway around the widening time fracture to allow human beings to enter it. Things that are going to do the audience travel to alien planets, historical locations, sci-fi worlds, some familiar, some new, with the mission 2. Is this the end of the page? With the mission 2? Eternia! Oh man! Captain Jack was in it. John Barrowman cancelled. It's a casualty of 2021. You know, I remember, was it in the 80s, the early 80s when I was a kid? The Chinese Cultural Revolution, when you had people, like all these people like fervently holding up like Chairman Mao's little book and like fanatically going, yeah, this is the real. And I think we're seeing the same mentality here, you know, in the Western world. We never seen anything like it before. Find out what's causing the anomalies within anomalies in reality. What's causing disturbances within the time fraction and how to put a stop to it. This journey takes over 2 hours. Okay, again, £50, 2 hours. Seems worth it. Of live theatre with visual spectacles culminating in a grand finale. What is it? This is Doctor Who, so of course it's a secret. But as Dingsdale puts it, it will cause, we hope, not. It will cause, we hope, not a few fan tears. Okay, I colour me intrigued. Speaking of fan tears, they don't need to be too concerned with canon. Director Tom Mailer explains, the premise of the time fracture has allowed us to make it a closed-loop narrative. So everything that happens here hasn't affected the Whoniverse. Okay, clever. You can save the universe and you can have an interaction with you can have interaction with, or something might happen to this specific character, but once they've closed the narrative and sealed the time fracture, save the universe, none of that ever happened. Dingsdale adds, which means we can be a little bit more flexible with creators within the narrative. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get locked down into canon. You know, it's like, yeah, that'll be the worst. Like, you hit like a mortal undead problem. Knowing it is we're not going to tread on toes again. It's its own pocket universe, which means, in a nutshell, you're going to be able to face off against a number of familiar characters. So far, we mentioned Dalek, Sidemen, Weeping Angels, lie in wait, but there are many more surprises in store. There are certain monsters, alien entities that if you came to a Doctor Who immersive show, I think you'll probably be disappointed if you didn't see them. Well, okay. Oh, I wonder what it is. Some Tarans. Silurians, who knows? Rest assured, you will not be disappointed. We are being true to the themes, which are sci-fi, horror, historical, and of course fun. Okay, can somebody tell this to Chris Jindal as well? Because I wish they could be a little bit more true to those themes. Within the basement of the building is the element of the angels, which is going to be terrifying but awesome. But there are also specific characters which will be awesome for the audience. Well, listen, I mean, we know where Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart's there. Maybe she's going to interact with Kate Lethbridge Stewart. Although they did that in Big Finish in a unit box set, which I thought was pretty darn good. But there are specific characters for an audience member to interact with, and you never feel you'll come face to face with. But we're keeping secret, and only a handful of the audience would experience that. Oh, so it changes with each. I don't like that. I hate it changes with each iterations, but because they're not going to get you to come back over and over again. But it's a huge input to the narrative of what they agree to do. So there's strands within our world. Strands. That's where things take a different turn. You're not turning up to the same show every night. One might say it's fractured. Here's the science part. Who really cares? Again, Captain Jack. Oh, so cancelled. But there we go. A bit of Dave Bradley action. With Gatsby, people had spreadsheets. What I said to the audience, all of them trying to work out the different ways to follow the plot. Honestly, I do hope they may make a home virtual experience, right? That would seem to be the only way they're going to make their money back. right? If they put this out as a virtual, like an interactive experience, I think that would probably work. Unlocks with there's specific things, specific characters that if you meet and come across, you might pick up and take on a bespoke journey to this iconic person. But it is, they stress, also an experience you can simply enjoy by watching others partake in. Even more than once, to get the rewards of the interaction of the Easter eggs of the characters, of the sets, the props, the music. Oh man, it sounds awesome. I forgot about the music. I guess they're going to go for the more Murray Goldie music. It's not going to be Segulan and like those like really, like try doing music that doesn't sound like you're underwater. Yeah, how about that for a plan? I don't know. We're taking some props, music. All the things that we have an offer. I tell you, SFX magazine must be on its knees thanking God for this. It's actually contemporary for them to write about. It sounds kind of like was it Alien War? It was in the Trocadero in London. That was freaking awesome. Basically, you got to be in an alien movie, but we're on a much smaller budget. Again, I want to repeat, the amount of money they put into this is crazy. This show is absolutely primed for repeat returns. Again, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. The experience also takes you to the visit to the Zagetsu, the bar where the 10th Doctor says farewell to the Captain Jack at the end of time. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, and again, I think it's pretty kind of easy to realize. That's rehearsals going on for it. So again, look, they got a lot of people there working on it. At 42, it's a big cast. That's a very big cast. Yeah, mate. I've lost my spot. I think we're over here. There we go. Easter eggs. Right, so where meets Captain Jack. Even though this is the interval element of the traditional show, the audience will remain in-world experience, a gorgeous panoramic view of the audience as they go to Lightspeed. Cool. And so you get to go to an intergalactic bar. I'm loving it. Freaking like again. If I lived in London, I would go to this. I would totally go to this. But again, it's made just freaking for me. I do like it when people put millions and millions of dollars into a piece of entertainment that's gonna just be for me, right? It's here you'll find the Silurian Celine Dion with her headpiece created by Millennium Effects. I bet that. So they got Silurian singing on stage. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. Millennium Effects are the people who made all the masks for Doctor Who. Did they still do it, or did I think Chibnall got rid of everybody, right? Like everybody. We have two headlining acts that have been very expensive. I imagine they would be. They are equivalent to the Celine Dion's residency in Vegas. They spent a pretty pricey note getting these two to come to do a residency on the ship. The creator explains. The eventual will be able to buy in-world costumes that match those of the actors and become further entrenched in the story. A Time Lord headdress, please. Wow, I tell you. You need to go to this with a lot of money, okay? You need to go to this with a few £100, right? Yeah. There's gonna be, but again, it's gonna last as long as it can last without making enough money to survive. That's how long it's gonna last. I feel really bad for them, and honestly, I hope I'm wrong. But I'm not. I'm not wrong. So you'll be able to buy stuff. How much of a classic Doctor Who fans can expect to encounter? How much classic Who can fans expect to encounter? In short answer, a lot. Dingsel takes a breath. That pulls from location, characters, nods to plot lines, designs, names, Easter eggs, bits that have been placed about the set. Every single iteration and generation in some way is name checked and homage or nodded to in different ways. Again, they got all the Doctors in it, so I guess they're there. So are they? Do you think they're just there at the end, the last part? Oh, well, I tell you, I love that bit in Day of the Doctor when there's like, the Doctor to the War Council. We had the first Doctor. Oh, I love that bit, man. But then again, I'm a huge soppy Doctor Who fan. What do you want out of me? So that sounds like how it's going to end. That's my guess on how they're going to wrap it up. And again, look, these sets look pretty darn good. Get it into the right spot. I can read the sorting thing. Nearly there. Okay. Don't want to throw out. That just leaves one question. That just leaves one important question about a particularly important character. Beware, spoilers, sweetie. We want to hold back on as much as we possibly can, says Digno, after a certain time will be making an appearance in any other occurrence other than Dave Bradley. Yeah, well, we know that. They've already announced it. It's one of those things that where your first time can only happen once. Well, apparently, the first time was in the Radio Times article. The element of discovery should be fun for that. We think it's fair to say Doctor Who fans for once won't be disappointed. I think they're right. I think it's going to be worth the money. I really, really do. It sounds awesome. Honestly, it sounds absolutely awesome. If I was London, I would go. You know, again, I flew to London for the Doctor Who experience. If Doctor Who was better, if the world was better, a happier place now, right? And it's not. If a more optimistic place, if we were back in 2013, right, I would fly in today. I would fly in, but we're not there. We're not there, and so COVID, everything. No. I think they got. I hope somebody has the sense to do a home experience. I really hope they do to try and recoup their massive losses. They're inevitably going to experience. But honestly, wish them the best. I do hope my friends that live in England, live in London, go check it out and tell me everything about it. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.